You a bit. I know everyone here knows you from one. I know you have church members here. You have colleagues. You have people who knew you from school. Everyone has like a different perception of you because they've met a different side of you. So, if you're meeting someone for the first time, what's that one thing you want them to know about you? What do you think you want to stand out?
Okay, hi everyone, thank you. I'm Princess Emeka-Obiajunwa, and I'm the founder of Sheleadership. It's a consulting company helping women move up the ladder in corporate organizations. And if they have businesses, I help with leadership development for them and their staff. My background is mostly education. I've been a teacher for years. I've taught at secondary and university level. Another background I have is social impact. I run an organization, and one of the arms will be turning 20 by next year. So community, education, leadership, and of course faith on the side. On the ground, I'm more of a spiritual person. I don't say I'm a pastor, even though I'm ordained, but I see the spiritual side as the core of everything else I do. So I don't have to give you the label to that. That's my identity. That's what I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's talk about your upbringing now. At what point in your journey did you decide that, oh, you know what, I think Sheleadership is what, you know, I want to do. This is what I want to help women attain these heights, or climb the corporate ladder, or do the things I help people do right now. So at what point in your upbringing, what part of your upbringing affected that?
Okay, so in this book, RECONSTRUCT, in book 1, because book 1 deals with the internal struggles that women deal with when it comes to leadership, advocating for opportunities for themselves in any organization, wherever they find themselves. I share that I'm the firstborn child of my parents. And before I even knew what leadership was as a label, or I was first of all into leadership as a duty, I have an immediate younger one before her. And that one I would say she had a good life, because I was, you know, as their dad from a Nigerian home, it's you they ask when something is going on. You are depressing everything. So you also get exposed to responsibilities of, you know, cooking, washing before everyone else. That was leadership, but I didn't really know it was leadership, because one of the things that did for me was, even when I went to school, secondary school, primary school, down to university, I take initiative. I don't wait for people to say, do this. As the adult already, I just assume, oh, I should know what to do. And somehow you're directed, could we do it this way? And it's not because you're trying to be overly, it's just who you are. So at the point that I knew that I needed to help women was because as I got along with relations with other women, I realized that the things I thought were simple, or women should know, they don't know. And then you have a conversation, they start telling you things like, I should have had that opportunity. And I'm like, so why didn't you get it? And you hear things like, there was someone else. You have all the skill, you have all the exposure. Why didn't you grab it? So I didn't understand the excuse. And I began to realize not everyone is as forward, in quote, as I am. Because the society label people like me as forward, outgoing, bold. But this same society does not reward anyone who does not put themselves out there. So I've decided to help women know how to do it without coming across as rude, as overbearing. You know, at first people may not like you, but the people they don't like are the ones getting the big opportunities in the society. I want to help women know how to grab all those opportunities, because we deserve it. I mean, I'm just really, really tired. Of course, I'm so passionate, so you can see that my voice is going up and my heart is doing this. I can't pretend. I really like this. I can see many ways I can help women, and I've started helping some. So I'm looking forward to having this reach more people. And I thought, okay, just put it in a book. If someone can come to consult with you, they can get the book off Amazon, off anywhere, and they'll be able to help themselves. So that's the journey.
So you thought about this. Most people, normal people, because I don't think that's normal. I don't think you're normal. I think you're, you know, extraordinary. What normal people would do is, oh, I have this idea, let me put it in one book. But releasing 3 books in one day, what made you think, oh, one book will not be enough to say what I have to say, or drive women into leadership, or drive women to climb the ladder? Why 3 books?
Okay, so I'll just demonstrate to save you the stress. This is RECONSTRUCT, this is DECONSTRUCT. This one is online now. It's like the ordered one couldn't get to me before this event, so it's live and direct. So it's as big as this too. If I gave you this book, are you gonna buy it? One book this big, would you buy? Would you read?
Probably get tired because it's
Besides, it's not going to even be affordable because we're not like large printing. This is print on demand. And secondly, women. I'm ready for women. They won't read anything this big. Women would not read anything this big.
When it's not the Bible.
So I just said, Princess, you have to sit down and put this in 3 different parts. So you can take it one a year. You can take it one a month, just at your own pace. And then, so long as the whole information gets to you, I'm fulfilled.
Okay. So if a woman listening to you today feels, capable, but they feel stuck somewhere in their life, because sometimes it's not only to be audacious. There are sometimes that you just have something limiting you, something holding you back. Children. You're like, how will I, take care? Not everyone is not everyone has that, or not everyone can afford it.
Yeah.
So in simple terms, what does each book help her understand about her capability, or about the fact that you can do this irrespective of what the society.
Thank you. So you've talked about your one question has 3 dimensions here, so I'm going to try to answer as far as I can. So you said she's feeling stuck. We have to first of all define what stuck is, because what stuck is for me might not be what stuck is for you. For instance, if I'm writing a paper and I can't get through, I'm already stuck. If I want a job and I can't get the job, I'm already stuck. So stuck is different. But the kind of stuck I'm dealing with here is you sit down one day, maybe 10 years into marriage, and you realize I should be more than this. Mm-hmm. You probably used to run a business before you relocated, like we all have done, and you realize one day this is not really the kind of dream I had for myself. You need reconstruct.
Okay.
Because one of the things I know about leadership that most people don't talk about is that leadership is first about yourself before it is about the context. Organization, home, environment, institution is first about you. And the powerful thing about a leader first is that you are able to adapt, evolve to the context you're working in to produce the kind of future you want for yourself. So if as a woman you feel stuck, I have dealt with 4 things that are responsible for those kind of feelings. One of them is fear. The reason some of us wouldn't start a business in another country is because, how can I do it?
Bye.
What if the law catches me somewhere? Do I even know what's up? That's fear. I'm going to show you how to reconstruct, because all these barriers coming from inside. Nobody told you can't. Sometimes we're told ourselves by maybe the feedback from the environment. You failed the first time, so what? Why didn't you sit down and find out how else can I work with myself? I have another framework called the internal operating system. And there I talked about 5 different project personalities, about how people approach issues and tasks around their lives. Some people call themselves lazy. Some say, I'm always procrastinating. It's not a problem. Whatever fault you think you have is not a problem. If you are able to find your real self and follow the framework here, I'm very sure you can deal with that. So we're dealing with fear, we're dealing with shyness, we're dealing with insecurity, we're dealing with guilt. Guilt of, I married too early. It's already too late. I'm using married because most women, the deconstruct part, our issues are also cultural. Yeah. She talked about what if I can't afford childcare and all of that. In this book, I dealt with a particular cultural norm called the childcare, the caregiver syndrome. In a marriage, they expect us, women, to be the ones who stay back to have the kids, stay back to care for them. I know we're all abroad, but somehow the originality of cultural norm as regards childcare still followed us here. It does not matter how abroad we are, because these things are universal issues. It's not just about whether you're African or you're white or you're anything. Exactly. It's the same thing. Yeah. So as a woman, I didn't treat the caregiver issue from your home, because that's I'll be going into a relationship, which I didn't want to do that. So how you and your husband decide to deal with your kids is your business. But did you know that caregiver issue can also be an issue, a challenge in your organization? It happened to me here. When you already have an arrangement that suits childcare and your family, and your organization wants to change it for, most times, the team leader may not even be doing it because it suits the organization. It might not be because they want to pick on you. Can we talk about real issues here? Am I making this up? Of course, it's real. So in that situation, you still want to advance in that organization. What do? I talked about it here. I don't have to tell you. The solution is in Deconstruct in the book too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Across all 3 books, I noticed that you challenged the idea that performance automatically leads to leadership. Why was that belief so persistent? Don't you think is a bit misleading?
Okay, so I do not want to offend anyone, but I'm going to ask the question and have you answer in your heart. On a scale of 0 to 10, in a perfect world, would you be where you are today? If all your dreams could come easily without any obstacle, if you put all your capabilities into consideration, are you living the life that you deserve right now? That tells us that performance is not enough, because organizations don't exactly reward performance. If there's 1 seat and there are 10 capable people, can we all 10 be on that seat? No. So who gets the seat? The person who is able to translate performance to credibility. Every organization have how they describe or interpret your performance. You might be thinking you're doing good because you're hitting your KPI every week, or there's been no complaint from the client on your end, but it doesn't mean that they'll just automatically hand you over the seats. I need to show women, if you want the chair, because you must first of all want it. We can't have the whole world crying about gender gap, and women, either they want it or they're not showing that they want it. So if you now want it, how do you put your performance in a way that the organization or the decision makers can interpret your ability as deserving of that chair? That's why performance is not enough.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I always say this as well. I say that it's very important for you to be visible at work. You might be high performing, but if nobody knows what you're doing, I always say use your own mouth and blow your trumpet. And I said that even when we're introducing ourselves earlier. If you don't blow your own trumpet, nobody will blow it for you. Don't expect anybody to blow it for you. So even in the corporate world, always open your mouth and say what it is that you did. That's visibility.
Let's even clarify on saying what you did. Especially in, I'm talking about talking because I know that people from the world will be watching. In Africa, if your boss just knows that you're doing well, we are fine. In this place, even if your boss tells you 10 times, we need to have all the evidence on email. You got to make sure they write it, because the person who said you're doing well can deny you next time. They can deny you the next hour, and you'll be like... So when we talk about the fact that you need to put yourself out there, it's not by doing things that just have them say you're doing well. Send an email requesting a documentation of the very well they just told you in the meeting.
I totally agree.
This morning you did well. Send an email. Oh, thank you so much, Caroline. This morning you said that could you just confirm what exactly you were talking about? That person would now start saying, you did this, you did that. That's your evidence. The next time you're having this thing, you forward it. Promotion is already at your feet.
Yeah, you're correct. She's actually you're really spot on. And most companies actually have a feedback system. So if someone praises you for a work that you do, it's okay for you to go back and say, oh, this is my link. Can you, leave a feedback for me, because it will reflect on the portal in your company. So spot on, real spot on. Thank you very much. My next question is about RECONSTRUCT. Let's talk about RECONSTRUCT a bit. So I know that the book looks at internal leadership posture, just like you've put on here. So I want to ask, what's the common internal pattern that you see in capable women with great capabilities that quietly limits how their leadership is perceived?
Thank you for that question. So everyone has what I called in this book an inner script. Inner scripts are, the way you want to, okay, for content creators, if you want to shoot a video, you can write a script that, oh, please, I want to say this thing. It will not be on your screen, and you start talking. There's already something in your mind that you don't even know is there. And at the beginning of this conversation, I said that I'm a firstborn. Automatically, without anybody asking me to take charge, I will take charge. I would want to find how to make things better, because it's my default, it's a script. But again, not every woman is like me. Some people were thirdborn, some were lastborn, some were only children, right? Or only child rather. Now, if that's the situation, there could be inner scripts like, oh, don't do that, it's too hard. Don't worry, your mom will do it for you. You don't know that voice is still falling into adulthood. And when it's time for you to put yourself forward and show, sometimes some of us just back down when someone else shows interest in what we want. And it's funny enough, this might be offensive to some people, but I'm going to say regardless, some women only know how to fight when it comes to a man. don't know why. Like, you want a man, another person wants a man, 3 other women want a man. That's when you show that, you forget that, you should be decent. In the way we call decent. Why are you claiming decency when it comes to your destiny on a job? Go decent, Rara. You have to show yourself. Like, So, that inner script is what drives women. That's really what's responsible. So, I show you how to rewrite it. If your script is almost always like guilt, because what really plays out when you have that script is you become a people pleaser.
Yeah.
There are people on their jobs that everybody who needs an extra holiday that is not booking a holiday comes to you to do their shifts. Because you look readily available. Don't tell me it's the money issue. Don't give me that story about extra pounds. You are really tired, but because you want their friendship. Sometimes because it's the colored person that asked you, you now want to please them, but you need that break. And you're thinking that if you do that, when it's time for them to nominate you for an award, they will nominate you. To your shock, they don't nominate you. They will nominate their friend. Meanwhile, you've been doing that, and so most of us have been going about it the wrong ways. I'm just tired of having women complain. So just write so that they can find the solution. That's why I did this.
Thank you very much. So what do you think most organizations and individuals get wrong about why women's careers stall? Because I mean, you see a lot of movies and lots of people saying that, women, no, let's not promote her, let's promote the man instead. What do you think they get wrong?
The way I approach these books, especially Navigate, this one is the one that deals with you're already positioned in the organization and you want a senior role. And then maybe there are 10 of you, but they want a man or they want someone of a different race. How do you really do it? I don't see anything wrong with organizations because there's really not much they can do. It's almost like saying, what's wrong with the world? How do we fix it? Can you do much to changing the world? We cannot change cultural norms overnight. There was a time women couldn't vote. People fought for it. But it started by one person saying, we need to change this. And then that person taught other people, and then they moved into bills, and eventually today, women can vote. I know that there is a future. Maybe my daughter's generation, because I don't know how fast this would move. Or maybe my grandchildren's generation, I still don't know. But there's a future where organizations will catch up and break off those cultural norms. Cultural norms like, we need a meal for this. Do you know, even churches, even religious cycles, there are laws like that. I know roles in different countries that I'm probably qualified to as a pastor. I have a master's in theology. I could pastor any church. I have the experience. But most churches will still tell you we need a man. I'm not going to do anything about that. Right? You can't force them. So when everyone is saying we need a man, don't blame the organization. It's already a cultural norm. As a woman, what do? You have to deconstruct that thing. Sometimes you have to show them why they need to have it if you really want it. In secondary school, I'll run off with this. When I was in secondary school, we only had head boy, deputy head boy, and deputy head girl. We had no head girl in my secondary school. Of course, what they expect was a religious school. But did you know, when it came to my time, not to brag, they had to create the head girl position. Because it seemed like they knew that, okay, if we really want this girl's impact, she's already doing this and doing that, we can't make her a deputy, because if we make her a deputy, the head boy decides what happens. So all these ideas of her will die. So give her an equal power so that they can work in partnership. That's how that was created. So there's some kind of situation where you can show yourself enough for them to make room for you. We've also seen organizations create positions that don't exist because they need somebody to do something. So don't talk about the organization. Talk about yourself. Find yourself. Improve yourself. Position yourself. And know what? Anything you want, you must want it badly. Just don't want it more than you want God, but want it badly enough and you get it.
Thank you. So just to a follow-up question. So I've seen I always say this, K-dramas. I'm a huge K-drama fan, by the way. I watch K-dramas. I watch K-dramas a lot. So most K-dramas always reflect the culture in Korea. So I've seen a couple of movies where the reason why they don't want a woman for a particular leadership position is because of maternity leave. So they feel like you're going to take that year off.
Oh, are we going there?
The business will suffer. So when is a situation like this, do you think the organization has valid reasons to stop or refuse a woman from taking that position, knowing that if this woman goes on a 1-year maternity leave, the business will suffer?
I'm going to answer a yes and no. I'm going to tell women what to do before they even get to read the book. Yes, organization has a valid reason to decide not to pick a woman. I know I'm going to be anti. Probably might call this clip and misunderstand me, but let me explain myself. Organizations are trying to think about themselves, not you.
Of course.
Business is thinking about their profit. No one really cares about you. So yes, in their interest, they made a decision if black and white is not black and white. But for the woman, if you are in that situation, what you should do when I talk about navigating, put yourself forward. Let them know you have a plan in place. Sometimes your team leader might know that you're the best person for the job, but they just assume on your behalf that you will not be available because you have kids under 3. Why don't you, in advance, before they need to even know, I've got childcare for this time. If there's anything required of me, I'll be happy to. Let them know you want the position. Let them know you have things in place, except in our Nigerian panache, if they're not bewitched. Except now witch. But if they're a normal person, definitely they will work with you to give you the job, because you've shown that you're capable, you've shown that you're available, you've shown that whatever there may be an excuse, you've dealt with it. Put yourself out there. Just speak in plain English, they will understand. I hope I communicated clearly.
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I have another question real quick. Navigate. Let's talk about navigate for a bit, because you touched on it in the last question I asked.
Yeah.
I know that you said that it focuses on organizational systems. So why do you think so many capable women get screened out before their performance is ever seriously considered? Apart from this, childbirth thing that I've just stated.
This one touches me very personally. Before your performance is even considered, you can be screened. I also give real life examples of how women have experienced these things. Maybe you've got what it takes, a man's got what it takes, but they pick the man. We've said one reason, but this is how that really happens. Organizations have what they call trackers towards leadership positions.
Okay.
Now, if you come in as, let's say, a call center person, you're picking the calls, doing emails, and the organization's tracker is speaking from the sales team, they may not tell you in the open. Every organization have a route to fill up leadership positions. So if all the women are taking calls and all the men are in the sales team, in the next 10 years, they need someone to fill a senior leadership position. Where would they pick from? Who would it be? You're not there. So how do we navigate? Even if you got into the organization as something that is not a feeder, and you say, okay, in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, some of the problem we have as women is that some of us are not even long planners. Men are mostly long planners. A man can come in as a gate man and tell himself in the next 5 years he's going to be the headmaster, and he will be. So in as much as we are saying women have these tools, do you really want to get up there? And then we women also have an issue. Grace, did you know that once another woman sees you being this ambitious, the cultural norm, oh, she's too forward, she's too harsh, she's too that. But I've learned not to care. I want it. I can do it. It's going to make the world a better place. Oh, princess is already. And I don't expect all of us to be the same. But we can't still sit down crying if we cannot take action. So if you want the leadership role, find out, I'm working here. How do they choose? Position yourself. If you need to even reskill to get there, reskill. And then another thing I also talked about that they do is that it could be that they might want you not to take a maternal break for the next 3 years. We're going to, if you have to be a team leader, you have not taken a holiday or that kind of break for the last 5 years. Be aware. When you come and they give you handouts or anything, ask all the questions. Even if you don't think that you're interested, you don't like the company, you don't want to stay the next 20 years, maybe they're not really giving you the gel, just know, because your decisions can change, your desires can change, so that you can be ready when that time comes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So spot on. So let's just talk briefly about the 3 books. How would a woman know which one she needs most right now, or that she needs to buy all 3?
Okay. As a greedy author, I'll say buy all 3. But realistically, that's the reason I made it different, because we're all at different stages. And you can be ready for all 3 now, or you might just need one. If you know that in your personal business, maybe you're a business owner, a staff does something and you're not even able to correct them, because the sentiment of they will start acting this way. You have a lot of leadership development to do. This one will help you. If you're also already in the office and you have a boss that talks down at you, finds a way to make sure that your shine does not shine. I showed you how to do it here. Because somehow we don't know that we're sending out signals about how people can treat us.
Sure.
And I've also witnessed with my eyes how people try to do everything to please their boss. And their boss still deals with them in the end. You're doing this, she's sending you emails at 10 p.m. She's sending you extra jobs, or he's sending, because sometimes women does this to women. So as I'm saying she, because usually, sometimes it's mostly women, right? Can we be realistic here? So if you have it means that there's a vibe you're giving that is making them think they can treat you that way. And I'm going to show you how to be politically correct without being insulting, or if they have to say you are rude, it's because they chose to say you are rude. But if they're honest, you were just being polite and defending yourself. I'll show you how to do that now. But here, if you're dealing with cultural issues, I'm talking about the culture of caregiving, the culture of a woman should not be loud. You still somehow have it in your head. If I tell my husband I want to do this, I don't know how he's going to take it. I'm going to show you how to have that conversation with your husband, and he'll be happy to let you have it. And if it's with your boss, you will know how to have that conversation, and you also know what to do. Because what really powers cultural norms is the fear of penalty. In an organization, if you do something that is unspoken, they can just cancel you, and you still think that you just realize that people are not that friendly anymore, or you go into a meeting, they're all speaking against you. You can read the room. You can read the room before you get into such kind of trouble. That's cultural. If you're already in a messy office and things are happening, you're not really understanding, go for deconstruct. Now navigate. This one is for you're already in a position where you know that the next position is a level I want, and there are too many people. I can give you a game plan for the next 6 months, 1 year, 3 months, 3 years, based on what you want and where you are. You can get it from this book.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So now I believe that you know the one to buy, or if you want to pack it up, we have copies here.
Now clarity. Find out what you're tired of. Is it your financial level? Is it your status level? Is it the job? Does it suck? You're welcome to change your job. Right? So take action, really. The next thing you said was?
Frustrated.
Frustrated. Frustration is the grandmother of tired. Pay attention to your battery level. Once you start getting tired, don't let it get too frustrated. And frustration can come when you've been trying something and it's not working. So if you're trying something that's not working, maybe you need a coach. A coach will actually save you time and frustration. You can't just keep doing the same thing with the same knowledge level, the same skill level, and expect change. That's another definition of madness. Because that's what mad people do. The same thing, they expect a miracle. I don't know how that's going to work. I coach women, strategy coaching. So know when to create, when to quit, right? Don't just keep doing the same thing. So coaching can help, mentoring can help. And of course, a community can help. I'm building the Sheleadership community for women who want to advance. By the way, it's okay to mention, right?
Of course.
I have a conference coming up this year for women. We're going to have panels, have proper conversations, take away that. Got me, if I'm on your case, in the next 3-6 months, you will give me results. I want that kind of community for women. I'm going to build it this year. Thank you.
So my question again, sorry, I'm just going to reframe it. My question was, if they're feeling tired and frustrated, and questioning themselves, what can they take from your books? So I'm talking about your book now. So I'm telling you, sell your market.
I already sold my market. If you're frustrated, what are you frustrated about? Personal frustration. This will help you deal with that. If your frustration is cultural born, restrictions around your work, you want to advance, but they're just becoming, this is it. Because let me tell you, when it comes to cultural norms, there might just be one ally that can change your experience in the organization. There could be one person that becomes your friend. You see,
an influencer, we call them influencers.
Every organization they have them.
Yeah.
They have them. Every organization has that influencer. And I'm not talking about licking people's butts, because my personality, I'm anti-licking butts. Like, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. So I'm not saying be who you're not. But if you want something, there's a way to do it. Go and read this one. It will help your life. Then the navigate one, like I said, is if you're already in a place where there's a promotion that has passed you like 3 times, and you're supposed to get a promotion. It's not deliverance matter. take action. Like the bring prayer point to us as pastors. I'll ask you. Sometimes people think issues are spiritual. It might just be one or two wisdom that you need.
Wisdom.
So I've poured. In fact, after this, I deserve a vacation because Monty writes. I'm tired.
Okay, so this will be the last question, basically. So, at what point in your own leadership journey did you realize that competence alone was not translating into authority or influence?
Oh my God. In the UK, I realized competence alone is not translating. That was when I started digging into these things. I wrote this. I know that organizations are the same all over the world, quote unquote. Corporations, institutions, they're usually similar. And also understand that there are different environments, like the UK different from Nigeria. But at the core, organizations are the same. At the core, they are the same. And that's why I began to figure out, okay. And of course, some of the examples I've given here are people's, the practices came from, what's it called? People's tested experience. This is what I heard them say they did, and they advanced. And I cannot say anything without backing up on research. I'm very heavy evidence driven. I had to go look at, if they did this, what was the theory that made it work? Because not everything is a miracle. Hi everyone, I'm Princess Emeka-Obiajunwa, a leadership consultant and researcher with over 2 decades of experience across education, non-profit and corporate organizations. It's been a while that the world has begun to talk about closing the gap in leadership when it comes to gender. And I know it's time for women to begin to take their place across various sectors. To contribute my quota to the success of the closure across the leadership gap that we can see in different sectors, I've written 3 books: Reconstruct, Deconstruct, and Navigate. In Reconstruct, I talk about the leadership limits that women experience on the inside and how to deal with it. And in Deconstruct, I talk about the cultural norms that tell us this is too far we can go. And I show in practical steps using lived experiences of older women and of course evidence-backed research to tell you how to do better. And then finally, Navigate, I share the barriers that are found in organizations and how you can take charge to come into the fullness of the position that you desired across any sector. I hope that you find it on Amazon and sell and anywhere else books are sold around you. I would like to hear your feedback. Thank you.